Hi, I'm Marty Cohn, and welcome to episode 2 of Rotary Cares, a monthly show that will tell you everything you want to know about Rotary and more. Rotary is a global network of 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers that come together to make positive, lasting change in their communities at home and abroad. Established over 110 years ago, Rotary now has over 35,000 clubs all over the world. Rotary's motto is service above self, and Rotarians adhere to that four-way test, a nonpartisan, non-sectarian, ethical guide for Rotarians to use for their personal and professional relationships. The test has been translated into more than 100 languages, and many clubs actually recite it at their weekly meetings. The four-way test is, of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better relationships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In Brattleboro, there are 2 clubs. The first, the Noon Club, has been around since 1950 and meets every Thursday at the American Legion. And the Sunrise Rotary Club, which has been around for about 20 years, and they meet every Wednesday over breakfast, also at the American Legion. Our guest today is Sadie Fischesser, Community Service Avenue of Service Director for the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club. Welcome, Sadie.
Thank you, Marty.
All right, so how long have you been involved in Rotary?
Almost 10 years now.
10 years.
Yes.
Fantastic. And why did you join?
I joined initially because I was new to working in Brattleboro. I'd lived here maybe a year at that time, and I didn't know that many people, but I got a job from Massachusetts. I started working in town, so I wanted to get to know more of the people who were also working in town. And I have at times found it difficult to find a way to connect to community projects, and I thought Rotary would be a good way to do that.
And you've been a very active member. You wear so many hats within the club. What are some of the hats that you wear?
Well, since I've been there, I've been the treasurer, currently the community service chair. I do a lot of work organizing different events too. So I work a lot at, doing registration at this event or just kind of making sure things go okay at our trivia nights, things like that. So it seems like I do more than I'm sure I do.
Oh, no, you're very active, and it's wonderful to see you do all these things. The trivia night, that's a fairly new thing for the club. What's that about?
So the second Monday of every month, through September through May, we have a trivia game at the American Legion, and people come and they get dinner, and each month there's a different community partner organization. So a nonprofit can sign up, and they commit to getting a couple of tables full of people there, but then more than half of our proceeds go to that charity partner for the evening.
Wow.
So it's really fun. People have a good time. It's a delicious dinner, and it's a different charity every month. So, and then every couple of months we have a battle of the boards, which really just means any nonprofit organizations can come and have a table, and if they win, their organization gets the money for the night. So it's usually a couple $100, and one of the real benefits is that it raises awareness about what the organization is and what they're doing. Last night we had the skate park folks there through the rec department, but we've had Groundworks Collaborative and Winston Prouty, and next month in December is Kids in Coats.
Wow. Now, I can tell you, I've attended a couple of them. I really wish I could go to more, but it's just fun and hard. It's not easy. That Jim Maxwell's, he's still doing those questions?
Jim actually did it last night, but Chris Johnston is our new MC, and we've started doing a round each time that relates specifically to the charity. So last night we had a round about skateboarding and skate parks, and when we did New England Youth Theater, we had a theater round. So that's been sort of fun. I'm sort of playing around with what it means to have a kids in coats round. So we'll see.
I'm sure you'll come up with something, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. So as I mentioned, the Sunrise Club started about, like over 20 years ago. What are some of the local community projects that your club has been doing over the last few years?
Well, we historically have done a lot of projects like your Rotary Club that have partnered specifically with organizations or that work to improve the town in general. So we've worked with the Gathering Place to build their deck. We worked with your club on the Boys and Girls Club floor. We also have a plot of the garden in town near the Common that we maintain and try to keep beautiful for the community. We focused a lot of our projects on nutrition, especially children's nutrition, locally and abroad. And of course, access to education. We do scholarships, and again, locally and abroad.
So what's one of the what's like a recent example? What's your latest community project? What's the last thing that you built or painted?
Well, we worked as part of the United Way Day of Caring. We did work on the overflow shelter, and of course we're one of the many community teams that provides food there. We also have been working with some communities in town to provide school vacation lunches for children, and that's been a really wonderful project to see evolve. In the beginning, it was very heavily relied on our volunteerism and our organization, and as the project has gone on, more of the people in the community have taken that on, and we really just are the spark to make sure it happens so that kids in those housing developments have access to healthy food through school vacations, especially winter vacation and February break.
So how does your club choose which projects that it's going to do?
A lot of times it's about people asking us.
That's
a good way. But again, we do focus on nutrition, things that our members are passionate about. We have a lot of folks who are involved in issues of poverty and homelessness, and so we tend to focus on those projects more. But what it's really about where our energy is in our club and what the community need is. Again, we've become sort of grill masters for a lot of nonprofits at their events, and that's a good way for us to just be the support behind the organization rather than us try to create something new or do something somebody else is already doing. We're the support for their work.
Wow. So what was 10 years? What was your favorite project?
My favorite project is probably the nutrition project, the winter vacation nutrition project, because I see a lot of those kids. I've done, just personally, I've done some summer food where you hand out the summer food program, food to kids. And I think that to me speaks most about making sure that the kids don't lose anything because they're not at school every day. And I think it builds the whole family. And again, the evolution of that project from our kind of heavy involvement to less involvement has been really inspiring and really speaks to kind of the building the capacity of the community.
Now, I like that project too. And the thing that really struck me was, I remember you had one or two members who introduced the project, who realized that there was a need. I didn't know about the gap during vacation. They came to our club, explained what was happening, and then they just did it. And now it's going on for years. So that's really one of the beautiful things about being a Rotarian. You have an idea. It takes one or two people. You can actually go ahead and do it.
I think the other cool thing about our community service projects lately has been the number that we've done together with our two clubs that we couldn't probably pull off on our own.
Right.
So the disc golf course comes to mind as something, we were all out there hauling trees or picking up debris or whatever level we could participate, but that's something now that people are really using. It's getting families together, getting them outside, getting them to use the space differently. And again, that's kind of a bigger project that I don't think either one of our clubs could have necessarily pulled off on our own.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's something that'll be lasting for the club. Sorry, last question. What is the best thing for you about being a Rotarian?
The best thing for me about being a Rotarian is being one of the million plus Rotarians and knowing that I'm part of something that's really big and seeing it also translate to my local community and seeing it on the micro level. So knowing that what I'm doing is really connected to something bigger, I love to hear the stories about the international projects, and I love to hear the stories from the events that we do. So I think it's that connection between the very large and the very small, and the focus on service. But that's the thing I love. Is it feels bigger than me.
Fantastic, and I want to thank you for being not only on the show, but for being such a good Rotarian.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back with after this brief message from Rotary International. Be right back.
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back. But we can shift the status quo, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. With passion and purpose, we've led the efforts to put an end to polio. Now eradication isn't just possible, it's plausible. Every day we're investing in a new generation of leaders so we can continue to provide access to clean water, tackle global health concerns, support education, and build the foundations of peace across borders. We're working together as partners and professionals while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Welcome back to Rotary Cares, a monthly show that answers the question, what the heck is Rotary? My guest now is Stan Nowakowski. Stan is the Community Service Avenue of Service Director for the Brattleboro Rotary Club. Welcome, Stan.
Thank you, Marty. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so Stan, how long have you been a member of Rotary?
I joined Rotary in 1999 as a result of meeting with Art Greenbaum, a long-term Rotarian, and he told me about the benefits of Rotary and the community service, and I joined, and I'm happy I did.
Great. So, and one of the things that 1999, so that's 18 years.
Yes, it has been.
Okay. So the Brattleboro Rotary Club was formed 67 years ago. So there was a little bit of history before you got there.
Yes, there was.
But can you tell us about some of the local projects in which the club's been involved over the years?
Sure. Over this long period of time, the club has been involved with a lot of activities. One of the ones, a number of them have been at Livingston Memorial Park, the water project. The 1 year we purchased the snow guns, which they were leasing, and we purchased them for the outing club. We did some construction up on the shelter, but that was just in the Livingston Memorial Park. We've been involved in other projects, namely on Route 30, there was some ball fields that we participated in, and we developed some walking trails and some hiking trails. One year we participated in constructing the venue at the snow jump, at the Harris Hill snow jump. There was a need to rebuild the judges' stand, and they came to us and we did that. We also support a lot of local initiatives like youth groups, whether it be with equipment or with fields preparation. Those are the ones I recall that were physical projects. One of the things that we are very happy to do is the Overflow Shelter Meal Program. We got involved in that about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago, of which we have our Rotarians prepare meals, serve meals to serve that community. As you probably know, Groundworks has taken that over, and we're going to begin that as of this. It began yesterday at the Austin site. They will serve approximately 33 people a night, and we have Rotarians who prepare a meal according to a planned budget, a planned menu. For example, on a Monday night, pasta is featured, and our first program is coming up on the Monday following Thanksgiving. I can tell you that our Rotarians are very committed to this program. I sent out an email and asked for people to participate, and literally within an hour, I had 10 participants, all willing to step in and help out and support the community.
And it's really a good project, and because people get involved in different ways. Because some people serve the meals, some people help prepare the meals, and it really shows the breadth of Rotary involvement. By the way, it's at the Winston Prouty campus. Formerly the Austin. Let's just be clear. I don't want people to go to the wrong place. But the other thing that so that's a great project that we're working on. There's another project, I believe, for the free libraries.
Yes, the free library program. We are actually constructing library boxes, of which then will be auctioned to raise money for that program. And I believe to date, we've got 3, possibly 4, that are already in production, with the target to have 10 ready for when the auction is happening. Probably you know a little bit more of that than I do. I know that we have a number of our Rotarians already working on the project, and looking for more to help, and they'll just step up and help.
Now there is another good example of that project. One Rotarian had the idea for it, brought it to the club. We have people who are working on building, the hammer and nails. Not me, by the way. No hammer and nails.
Nor I.
No. And then the next phase of that is we're involving the Arts Council of Windham County, and we're going to have painters, artists, who will then paint these free libraries. And then we're giving those to the library for a fundraiser. So you've got Rotary, the Arts Council, and the library working together. That really shows community involvement.
Another project I recall we did was with the hospital. They had a building, an off building, of which they needed some renovation. It involved drywall, carpentry work, cleaning work. So we were able to bring in those Rotarians with those specific skills. For example, my skill was to clean. I cannot hammer and nail, I cannot drywall, but I can clean pretty good. So I did that. But there were other members who did carpentry and helped bring this building to a usable condition. I think it was on Fairview Avenue. It was one of the old doctor's offices. So we've done that projects like that too.
Yeah, it's great. And we've done actually a lot of projects with the hospital. We fixed up their pastoral counseling building, and this is a throwback. We used to take pictures of the kids, some family event, and so that they'd be able to have a picture of a kid in the event their kid was missing or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And that was back
I didn't know that.
That was back in the days when we used Polaroid film. So I've just dated myself. All right. So what of all these projects, Stan? What's your favorite project?
The meals program. I feel that it was a way for us to involve Rotarians with broad skills. Everyone can cook, everyone can serve, everyone can meet and greet people. So it was a way for us to involve all of our Rotarians in a project they can participate in. There were always those Rotarians that had physical skills, whether it be construction stuff, but this was a project that touched all Rotarians. And we've also involved our student Rotarians. Our student Rotarians are high school students from around the area. They attend a monthly meeting with us. They communicate with their Rotary buddies, which is someone like myself or another Rotarian, and we mentor them into community service. And they see that there's a benefit to participate in local community projects that benefit their community. It also gives them an idea of that there are other people out there less fortunate than they are that could use our help. And it's a hands-on experience for that.
So Stan, let me ask you though. I really don't have the answer to this one. How do we choose a community project? Is there?
That's probably the most difficult thing to find. We look toward the community projects from people that are in the community, that are involved in something that may need the help of a group like ours. So it can come from just a conversation at the local coffee shop. It can come from attending a function. It could be done by having a cocktail at Duo, and you meet someone, you find out they're interested in something, and you say, geez, how can we help? And they tell you how you can help, and you figure out if you have the resources, and you put it together. The one thing we try to do at Rotary is to identify projects and then find the resources to do it. And it's not normally money. It's normally something that needs to be done physically. Sure, we raise money and we donate money, and that's fine, but this is a more hands-on experience.
And I think, and we heard this with Sunrise as well. I mean, community members can contact Rotary Club, and we are able, willing to help if we can.
Sure, and we have a website that, for those that are technologically able to basically communicate through that. But since we have over close to 80 members, there's probably someone, a Rotarian, that can be contacted, and then it just flows through the channel.
So here's the last question for you. What is the best thing for you about being a Rotarian?
The best thing about me is the camaraderie among community members, other Rotarians, to meet them, to talk to them about their interests, their backgrounds, and sometimes to find out that, oh my God, they spent a career in Japan. Milty, I never knew that. And here's one of our Rotarians that had a pretty nice career and he was in Japan. Or going back to one of our older members and asking them what they've done in Vermont in the community, and come to find out they've done quite a bit that I wasn't aware of. And then it's exciting with the student Rotarians, because they're the future. They're the ones that have to step up and participate in community service and make a commitment, just like we have, service above self.
Great. Well, Stan, thanks so much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
I would like to thank our guests, Sadie Fischesser and Stan Nowakowski, and a shout out to Kevin Yeager, who's doing some magic behind the camera. He's a Sunrise Rotarian and doing a great job behind the camera. I want to thank BCTV and especially Roland Boyden, who is helping us bring this show to you. If you have any questions or concerns or even ideas for future topics, you can send them to info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org, Brattleboro Rotary Club, one word spelled out, .org. I'm Marty Cohn. Thanks for watching.